welcome back for another video, guys. We are going to take a look at this farm jack. This is the Big Red. It's a 48-inch in length jack. Let's see. It'll set down to 5 inches at the base of the anchor, and it is 3-ton capacity. This stuff, and specifically if you're out in the woods with one of these mules or your rock crawler or something like that, one of these jacks really is important to have. Not only can you lift the vehicle up if you had to change a tire or something like that, but there's other applications you can use these things for getting a vehicle out of a rut or something like that. And I'm going to show that to you as soon as we get this thing out of the package here. Alright, now we can get a better look at it. It does have a handle keeper right here, a removable foot. Now this foot on here is really small, so if you was in the mud or something like that and you started lifting a heavy vehicle up, I guarantee you this thing's going to sink right down in there. So I have brought me along, this is a 2x8 that I can set underneath that foot. Okay, but one of the reasons this foot is actually removable, and it just has a little safety pin in there. You can take the foot right off. Okay, like I said, if you take that foot off and then you get the jack lifted up here about 2.5–3 feet, again you have a fulcrum that you could just simply push over, and the distance is going to carry and lift the vehicle right up out of a trench or a rut for you. Okay, so that's one use for it. Now this foot, by the way, is cast iron, so if you attempted to push your jack sideways while you had it on this foot, you're probably going to split the sides off of it, so be careful there. I mean, that's not a whole lot. You can definitely make another foot if you had to. Alright, now this guy up here simply has a bolt holding it in, so you can either use this to put a chain through to stabilize the jack. That's another thing to be careful with here, is as you're lifting something, it's either going to pull this in to the side of your vehicle. You don't want that, you know, denting a fender or something like that, or if you was pushing this thing sideways, it could, you know, be sliding down again, tailgate, fender. So be mindful of that. If you was going to use this for a cantilever, I would definitely remove this top hook. That way I didn't have to worry about that sliding in and possibly doing a lot of damage if I'm trying to move a vehicle with it. Okay? Now, and again, this also, as we're going across some safety issues, is once you start putting this thing under extreme pressure, and again, this is capable of 3 tons, 6,000 pounds, you start pushing this thing down and putting your body weight into it, never allow your fingers to get close to be where they can be smashed here, or get your body or anything in between this handle and the back of the steel, because if this handle would snap back, and again under extreme pressure it very well can, don't get yourself hurt. Okay, this is just simply a tool, and be mindful of the safety issues for it, and you can do a lot of work with this. Now what I brought you down here for is I want to see if I can pick this stump up. But I'm going to actually see what we can do with this farm jack. That is about an 18-inch stump. I'll carry you around to the front so you can see it, and you can see it's still embedded into the ground here. Now that tree fell over. That was a large cedar tree, and that tree fell over a couple of years back due to an ice storm. Now, like I said, this was no small tree. I mean, that's pretty good size. Okay, and what I'm going to do first, before we even get any chains out, is we are simply going to get this thing underneath and see if we can actually get it to travel up. Now, our lever here, let me get this handle pulled back up here. Okay, so down, I'll let the jack free fall down. I'm going to get in there and get me a good bite. Okay, and then we can lift it up. And now in the up position, we're ready to go there. Now we have to let that guy all the way back. And as you've seen, by the way, I did put my 2x8 underneath there. And this thing's already starting to push that into the ground. And this may be an epic fail, guys. I don't even know if it'll move this thing or not. And like I said, I'm really starting to put some force on it now, so I'm keeping myself back away from that. It's moving it. Get it squared back up. All right. Well, I tell you what, that's a lot on there. Just do a quick inspection, make sure I'm not doing any damage. All right, let's keep pushing on it. All that paint, all this new paint on here, I can see it scratching right up the side. Whew, I'm out of breath. That's heavy. But anyway, that is making that a little more difficult to operate. It's taking it though. Let's keep going. Wow. Now, you can see that we started up vertical. We were out here in a plumb situation, and now as this thing's moving forward, and actually this is a benefit because it's tilting forward and trying to lift and push this stump back and up, which is exactly where I want to go with it. However, if you were lifting a vehicle, you can already see that you'd be in the side of it, door, radiator, something like that. So again, this is something to be cautious of when you're using a tool like this, because if you're not paying attention, you can do some damage too. Okay, let's keep lifting and see what it's going to do. Ooh, I'm putting it to it on there. My goodness. I think it's going to do it, guys. Wow. Now I'm going to be really cautious here because I'm starting to get movement and I don't want this thing springing back on me. Wow. I want you to look at that. Bringing it right up out of the ground. Alright, I need a breather. Alright, so this is the reason I wanted to actually use this jack to lift this up, because it is doing just that. It's lifting that stump up out of the ground. You can see that's a pretty good sized hole. I mean, that's pulling some dirt up out of there. The jack in this situation actually gave us an advantage of being able to lift that up out of the ground. Now, I will say this, guys, one thing about it, you'll get a workout using one of these. Now, this was another tool I done a review on a few weeks back, this Code Red pry bar. This is going to come in handy right here. Get that wedge block up out of that. So there we have it, guys, just a quick review. Again, farm jack, Tractor Supply, Menards, that's where this one came from. Various applications. You do have to be careful with them. Again, you don't want this getting into something that's important to you. But you can use this for pulling fence posts, small trees, just the various applications that you may encounter on your farm that will help you out. And again, $65, so it's not a great expense either, okay? I hope this video is helpful for you in some way. I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.